endlessly searching for an original sound.
Alright, so let's do this. Took me a little while to get this started. That was fun. Guys, we have a Lovecraftian game. Scotland, November 1945. My name is Aaron Bruce, son of Malcolm Bruce, and the rightful heir to the Dunshill house. I've recently discovered that my tyrant of a father intends to disinherit me in favor of my deranged younger sister. My relationship with my family is strained, to say the least. I have decided that the time has come for my sister to be removed from this ghastly equation. I intend to put her out of her misery. Unfortunately, my sister never leaves the confines of the Dunshill house, which makes the matter more complicated. I have not visited the family home in quite some time. I can't bear to be in that hellhole for long. However, my presence on the night of my father's 50th birthday will cause no suspicion. I must choose the timing and methods of the deed very carefully. Tonight is the night I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. I have really shitty Scottish accent, don't I? It's an interesting game to be made in RPG Maker, honestly. Bloody hell, George! Who's been responsible for maintaining the gardens? Used to be Big Jack Willis, sir. He's been dead for almost a year now. I do a little here and there. Can't do much on account of my bad back, though. My sister hasn't offered to help you, then? Miss Jennifer isn't really an outdoors type, sir. I know, George. It was a joke. Very funny, sir. My uncle's and aunts are fucking killing me. Let's go inside before the ocean comes to Dunshill. I'm sorry, I'm going to offend any Scottish fans I have. Converse with your relatives in search of the house for useful objects, and turning this way down. Objects can be divided into two categories, items of evidence and weapons. Oh, why did I skip that? I didn't skip that. After dinner, you will have the chance to plant an item of evidence, if you wish, and then commit the murder. Oh, epidemic, you're Scottish. There are many ways to do the deed, but only the cunning will succeed. Guys, we're gonna kill someone. So there is actually a second game to this, too. Let's see. Good evening, Miss Downen. May I take your coat? Of course. Yes, take this blasted wet thing off me. You're new here, aren't you? Sophia's my name. I recognize you from your pictures, Mr. Arnon. I'm not new exactly. I've been employed for your family for almost a year. It's just that you never come to visit. My work keeps me very busy, unfortunately. I understand. I've been away from my family a lot since I started this job. You are here now, and I'm sure you are eager to meet the others. Your father's in the library on your left, and your mother is in the parlor, which is on your right. Your sister is upstairs in her room, I think. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your help, Sophia. You're very welcome, Mr. Aaron. This is a murder your sister simulator. We are here to be a serial killer. I'll be in the kitchen preparing dinner. I'll sound the bell when the dinner is served. It is an interesting little game to see made in RPG Maker, as I've said before. It's interesting to see what people can do with that engine. Can't leave right now. Okay. Even now the familiar musty smell of your father's library fills you with dread. As you step inside, you have too many bad memories of this room. Nope. Guess we're not gonna say hi to Papa. Even though it's his birthday and we should. Your parents' room has not changed in years. It remains that frozen time capsule of a childhood you would sooner forget. You enter the surreal atmosphere of your sister's rooms. Mirrors of various sizes cover walls, creating an eerie illusion of crowded people. She's psychotic, isn't she? So many mirrors. Let's see. There's nothing interesting in your sister's bed. Hey, we can save game. You step inside your former bedroom, now a simple guest room. Most of your old furniture has vanished, probably thrown on a bonfire, knowing your father. There's at least one item of yours remaining in your former room, your fencing sword. At least this is a weapon, of which you are very well... Yeah, take it. Are you sure you want to take the sword? Remember, you can only pick 2 objects. No, on second thought, I'll wait. So we have a sword as one of our objects. Yeah, she might have body issues. I see you made it, Aaron. Forgive me if I don't stand. Your mere presence has almost given me a heart attack. Hello, Mother. Please sit down if you want to talk properly, Aaron. I don't want to crane my neck looking up at you. Oh, you sound like a fabulous woman that I wouldn't beat with a stick. So, Aaron, you finally managed to make it up here for a visit. Please tell me you aren't just here to cause trouble. That was what you well deserve. No, Mother, I'm not here to cause trouble. Quite the opposite. Oh, our family has been dysfunctional for a long time, and I have to take some responsibility for that. For what it's worth, I apologize for any stress that my behavior has caused you over the years. I see. You'll forgive me if I'm a little skeptical about this sudden change in your attitude, Aaron. However, if we can get through today without any drama, then I would appreciate it. Have you been up to see your sister yet? She's been going through the usual difficult times. Will she be okay? You sound worried. Do you think it's serious? I have not seen her this bad in a long time. Do you remember that summer when she with the razor in the bathroom? Yeah, I remember. It's a shame she didn't actually kill herself. That was the last time I remember seeing her like this. Oh yes, to answer your question, I am worried. Anyway, you should go and talk to your father if you haven't already. Wish him a happy birthday. Oh, and at least try to sound like you mean it. Bitch! You glance over your shoulder to make sure your mother isn't looking. The red book on the desk says, right. Okay. Yeah, why not? Meh. So you have to be really careful what you choose. Oh, YouTube chat died. Give me a second. It's back. Your father's best friend is a hunting dog named Beastie. The dog looks at you with a moment, then walks away when you realize you have no food. Hello, Father. Your father remains silent for several moments, and a chill seems to pass through the library. When he finally speaks, it is in quite a bitter tone. You told me you'd never enter this house again, boy. Why are you here? It's obvious why I'm here. I want to put all that unpleasantness behind us. I wish you a happy 50th birthday. Happy? You honestly think this is a happy day for me? Another day when I watch my life's work crumble into nothing? Another day to see your bloodline slit its own throat? You know how to make me happy? Move back to Dunshire. Take your proper place and do your damn duties. It's honest. If I were to move back to Dunshire, I would have certain expectations. Oh, and what expectations would those be? First, I refuse to suffer your daily insults. You will need to learn to be more decent towards me. Secondly, I want my sister to be put into care, where she belongs. I cannot live with her insanity for another day. You would like that, wouldn't you? You obnoxious little shit. Selling out your own bloodline. Those are my terms. Well, you know what you can do with your terms? The nerve of you. You're the same snot-nosed brat you always were, boy. Obviously, I didn't give you enough discipline as a child. I will bitch-smack you. Can't be seeable. I'll take my leave. You should watch your words, old man. I'm not as helpless as I used to be. Maybe not on the outside, but on the inside you're every bit as small and weak as always. Don't think for a moment that you could stand up against me. You're not man enough, and you never will be. You'd better leave this room before I decide to revisit the past. Get out of here. Can I kill the father instead? Is anybody with me on the whole killing the father thing? Oops. I wonder if we could just drive the sister to commit suicide. That would just make things so much easier. You vote for the dad instead of the sister. Yeah, I'm actually with you on that vote. Find a pair of silky undergarments with her initials embroidered, planted in the right place. These might be to weave a tale of their own. Yeah, why not? Where is she? Aha! I thought I smelled a rat. Have you come to see me, little rat? There's no need to call me a rat. You know my name. Yes, I remember now. Your name is Rat. Ratty, ratty, rat, rat. You used to have a pet rat, didn't you? Remember what I did to him? Oh, how he squeaked. Such great pain for such a little... no, I want her dead now. Mother says your condition has been getting worse. My condition? What condition? I don't have a condition. You wanna have me sent away, don't you? Well, it won't work. I won't, I tell you. Get away. I don't want to speak to you anymore. I'm gonna enjoy killing you, bitch. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna blame me when I kill her. So this game and the second one you can actually get on Steam right now. Walking into the pantry, you begin to salivate at the promising scent of roast beef coming from the kitchen beyond. Wrong button! The maid has left a sharp kitchen knife unattended. Leave the knife for now. else I can explore? Find nothing particularly interesting in this place, okay? Manage to force open the locked drawer and withering desk. Inside you find pages of poetry penned in your sister's handwriting. They seem to be love letters penned to an unidentified female. Oh. Oh. I have ideas. Oh, but you can only take 2 items. Shoot. What? I don't know. Course you do. Use that head for once, boy. Great Uncle Thomas? What initials do you see on that silverware? CB. And what kind of halfwit spells Thomas with a C? I don't know. Well, I do. It's the kind of halfwit that's standing next to me. Now, watch your ancestors. Now, which of your ancestors owned that silver chalice? If you get this one wrong, there will be serious consequences, boy. I'll say one thing for my father. His style of parenting has always been consistent. So I kind of have an idea now. Fine. Where is it? Oh, okay. So we have 2 items. I've got to think about what to do though. Again, a bell invites me. This time to dinner, it seems. Dinner is served. I'll turn it up just a smidgy. I am definitely liking this game so far. Sophia, could you come here a moment? Yes, ma'am. Pour me some more wine. Yes, ma'am. But, madam... Oh, what is it, George? I must protest. It has always been my duty to pour wine at dinner. Well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Nonsense. What does it matter, George? Stop being over pedantic. But, don't you think you've had enough, Mother? Do you let the staff talk to you like that? Come on, George. Let George pour the wine. Careful, Mother. If you drink too much, you might end up embarrassing yourself. Arrand! What a rude little rat. What a rude little rat you are. It's enough out of you. How dare you insult your mother? An interfering little rat, isn't he, Daddy? Yes, he is. Why can't you ever keep your mouth shut? Careful, Papa. There's no need to make a scene at dinner. I'll show you a scene. Get over here. Malcolm, please. Let's not permit his behavior to ruin dinner. Yes, I suppose you're right. You can count your lucky stars, boy. Sophia, could you come here? Sophia, can you come here, please? Yes, Miss Jennifer? I just want to say that was the loveliest meal I ever tasted. I don't know how you do it, you cunning pixie. You are too kind, miss. Of course I will have tea and cakes for you in the drawing room as usual after dinner. Oh, you were so good to me, you sweet thing. So very, very good to me. You stop reading. Leave the girl alone, would you, sis? She obviously isn't interested in your advances. Shut up, rat, you'll ruin everything. Aaron, don't accuse your sister of such things. That's quite enough. Kill them all in their sleep. Anyway, let's not forget why we're here today. To celebrate your father's birthday. Such an important occasion for us all. You... Drop my drink! You are so dear to us, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Daddy. Indeed, happy birthday, Father. Let's hope it be one to remember. Everybody in this needs to die. His family is full of bastards. Isn't it how it always is? Doing the deed. Now is the time you quickly plant any items of evidence you have. Okay, Zyrim, select the items from your inventory. When you are ready, enter the drawing room to do the deed. Okay, let's see. Curiouser and curiouser. Dusty old wine cellar is where your father likes to practice billiards. The laundry room is full next door. Beyond that is the servants' quarters. Perfect! Perfect, perfect, perfect. We just need that servants' quarters. Want to plant this evidence in this room? Oh, am I screwed? Is the second thing a... Okay. So I need to... find some kind of weapon. Oh, I know where I can get a weapon. So let's see. Now I just gotta go in the kitchen. Can I not pick up the knife? Did I screw my chance over the knife? I missed my chance with the knife. Shoot. Guys, I missed my chance with the knife. That sucks. Let's go with... You can take the billiard thing. What about the sword? But that comes from our room. I don't think we can take anything, which sucks. I think we should have taken one piece of evidence. Well, let's find out. Yep. Okay. Let's go in there. You see Jennifer staring out the window ahead of you. Lost in one of her strange moods, she hasn't noticed you enter the drawing room. Now's the time. Who needs a weapon anyway? You can best her with your hands alone. You creep up behind her and suddenly lunge forward, putting your gloved hands firmly around her throat. She gasps and struggles, smashing into a chair and then a desk. Finally, you manage to find a good grip, and you continue to choke her from behind until she finally goes limp in your arms. You let her drop to the ground. That was a noisy struggle. You won't have much time to get out of this room before someone investigates. you hear something, Mr. Aaron? Well, it looked like we were coming down the stairs, at least. Good evening, everyone. I am Inspector Winston Lewis. I understand that this is a difficult time for your family. You're damned right it is. I want to know what you're doing, wasting time in here while my daughter's killer is still out there. Well, Mr. Bruce, we've found no evidence of forced entry, and nobody was seen entering or leaving the house. It would seem entirely possible that the killer is in this room. What? No. Wait, wasn't she dead? Didn't we just kill her? That seems highly unlikely, Inspector. Perhaps it is. However, in order to follow protocol, I will have to interview each one of you in turn. Miss Bruce, would you like to meet me in the library first? I suppose. The interview. Thank you for joining me in here, Mr. Bruce. Mr. Bruce Buck. I'm sure this won't take long. Before we begin, I will need to search your person. Best to get these formalities out of the way. Is it really necessary? I'm afraid so. Turn around, please. Did you write this poem? No, it's one of my sister's awful poems. Apparently, she's been writing a lot of them lately. Interesting. She seems to have developed an interesting interest in a certain brown-haired female. Probably the maid, I would assume. Perhaps they are in a relationship, or perhaps it was simply unrequited love. Very interesting either way. Now that's out of the way, let's move on to the interview. As you know, I have already spoken to everyone else who was present at the house at the time of your sister's death. We have also now completed our initial search of the house, but we'll get to that later. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? First of all, we will be running through all of your activities since your arrival. The maid says that you and the butler arrived shortly after 7 o'clock, and she greeted you at the door. Later on, you had a conversation with your mother. What? That threw me off. That's my name. Okay. In the parlor. She told me that you were unusually cordial. Something about wanting to apologize. Being sincere. I just wanted to avoid another argument. That was a private... I was being sincere. Yeah, I wanted to clear the air between myself and my family. I see. Do you think it's slightly suspicious that you suddenly wanted to reconcile after all this time? No, I don't think so. Very well, then. She says that you spoke briefly about your sister. Apparently you seem quite concerned about her well-being. Really? I was more concerned about my mother's... She seemed tired and desperate. I'm sure that dealing with my sister for so many years has taken a toll on her. Your mother was behaving unusual then? She was not herself. I see. You want to see your father in the library. I understand your conversation became quite heated. Of course I did. My father is an irrational man. Actually, I thought the conversation was civil. My father has always had a short fuse. Many of our conversations go that way. Would you say he has a violent temper? Absolutely. See, good to know. You discussed the prospect of moving back to Dunshire. You said you would only move back if your sister was placed in psychiatric care. For her own, I had her own best interests at heart. She belongs in care. You may be right, Mr. Bruce. However, you seem to be the only one who felt that way. Your father also told me that you threatened him with physical violence during your conversation. Yeah, but he threatened me first. I think he must have misinterpreted something I said in the heat of the moment. I don't believe I threatened physical violence. I understand it's easy to take these things wrong during an argument. Did you speak to your sister before dinner? Yes, I did. Yes, I went to her room to see her. Some sisters need to die. I see, and what did you discuss? Small talk. We discussed her illness and obsession. Nothing at all. What? Hide. I did not mean it. It was as brief as most conversation with my sister. She called me a rat and not wanting to insult further. I soon left the room. Did that make you angry? To be honest, I was used to it from her. Okay, I'm gonna give him a different voice. Let's move on to the events that took place during dinner. Apparently, you made a comment about your mother's drinking. Oh, good, someone needed a comment. I felt I had to say something. I thought she was drinking far too much. Do you think this is anything to do with her difficulties in coping with your sister's conditions? Almost certainly. Interesting. I gather that your father rather lost his temper at that point. Just the usual. My behavior gave him cause to get annoyed. I confess I was probably the cause of that. I was trying to intentionally irate him. I see, it's good for you to admit that. Apparently, you accused your sister of making unwanted advances toward the maid. It was a silly, regrettable decision. I was just teasing my sister, that's all. I see, let's move on then. Now, I need to ascertain your location at the time of your sister's death. Where were you when you heard the maid scream? Upstairs, ground floor. Ground floor. West wing. Pantry, kitchen. Foyer. Where? Was in the foyer. Yes, the maid mentioned seeing you in there. That does put you in quite close scenes of the murder, I'm afraid. As I said earlier, you have completed our initial search of the property. The search did not turn up any items which gave me cause to suspect anyone in particular. I am curious about the murder weapon. With your sister's injuries, we can guess that she was most certainly strangled by a pair of strong masculine hands. That makes you, your father, and the butler more likely suspicious, without completely ruling out the others. It is very interesting. Oh god, no. Whew, that voice makes me yawn. I will be completely honest with you now, Mr. Bruce. Frankly, your behavior leading up to your sister's death concerns me a great deal. Also, I must regard your father as suspicious, even though the evidence is far from conclusive. There's a question for two regarding the butler, but personally, I don't buy it. Too cliché. I am slightly curious about the maid, but I doubt she was involved in this. I think I will also be taking another look at the evidence surrounding your mother. Given the weapon that's used, obviously suicide is not a realistic possibility. Now, as what happened next, I am placing you under arrest on suspicion of murdering your sister, although I think I will have some more further questions for your father later. And I will need to be speaking to your mother again. I think I screwed myself. Not surprisingly. As the only person to be arrested, you remain the prime suspect of the case. The evidence against you was overwhelming. At trial, it did not take very long for the jury to return a guilty verdict. You were given a life sentence for the murder of your sister, and would be spending the rest of your life behind bars. In your dank little cell, there was nowhere to hide or to escape from the nightmares when they came. The deed itself has taken possession of your soul, and perhaps this was her final revenge.